Welcome to News Breakdown. We all know climate change is a hot topic in and around the world, within politics and just in general through society. Barack Obama took to a stage to deliver his first speech outside of the United States since leaving office at the Seed and Chips Global Food Innovation Summit in Milan. Seed and Chips is an annual gathering of global entrepreneurs, investors and executives who are focused on exploring innovation, trends and solutions in the food system. As part of a larger speech, Obama discussed the relationship between our food and climate change. BizPac Review reported that the former president revealed he does not believe that this planet is condemned to ever-rising temperatures. I believe these are problems that are caused by man and can be solved by man. What does the former president believe that the solution is? Eating less meat, or as Obama puts it, have a smaller steak. Apart from rising ocean levels, Obama addressed another emerging issue sparked by climate change, which is a food shortage around the world. According to the New York Times, Obama said, "Our changing climate is already making it more difficult to produce food. We've already seen shrinking yields and rising food prices." With this, he highlighted how the poor and underprivileged will be the first to suffer from a lack of food security. While several countries, including the United States, have signed onto the Paris Agreement in which nations will be asked to commit to reducing their carbon footprint, Obama believes that this is ultimately up to the individual to enact change. He went on to say, when we think about issues like food security or climate change, ultimately politicians can help guide policy, but the energy to bring about change is going to come from what people do every day. It's going to come from parents who are concerned about the impact climate change may have on their child, from the business people who say how we can use less energy or waste less resources in making our products. It's millions of decisions made individually that have the ability to make changes. Considering that the current administration of the United States is primarily comprised of the climate change skeptics, it is encouraging to have a leader like Barack Obama empower the individual. However, Obama isn't without empathy for the difficulties encountered by many when facing a lifestyle change such as reducing or cutting out meat altogether. He also said, because food is so close to us and is part of our family and is part of what we do every single day, people, I think, are more resistant to the idea of government or bureaucrats telling them what to eat, and how to grow. Ultimately, when it comes to the fight against climate change, we cannot wait for food policy to change, and thankfully it is easier than ever before to start making planet-friendly changes to your diet, thanks to new innovations and better availability of plant-based meat options. If we look at trends related to meat consumption in the United States, we can see that it is the consumers, not the policymakers, who are largely driving trends such as reduced meat consumption. According to a recent report by the Natural Resources Defense Council, Americans shrunk their diet-related carbon footprint by 10% between 2005 and 2014, simply by eating less beef, and at least 26% of consumers identify as flexitarian, or those who try to eat less meat. The food space has seen some rapid changes in a short amount of time. While 10 years ago, most dedicated meat eaters would wrinkle their nose at the idea of plant-based meat, more people than ever are now embracing this idea than ever before. According to a 2017 Protein Alternatives report from the global market research firm Mintel, 36% of millennials have tried based meats and 64% have specifically tried meatless burgers. Although the consumption of meat is on the rise in developing nations, Obama addressed that, calling this a huge opportunity for entrepreneurs, businesses, scientists and thought leaders to make progress in an area where we have not made as much progress before. To me, it sounds like the former president is suggesting that now is the time for innovators in the food space to help other nations embrace the plant-based future of food. And that's the kind of change that we can actually get behind as a human race. So, how do we actually make a difference? You can start by eating for the planet by doing nothing more than choosing a delicious plant-based meal over one laden with animal products. I personally, I'm a meat eater myself. However, I am quite conscious of the impact it does actually have when you're consuming meat in high volumes in and around the world on the actual environment. So if you look at it from a personal perspective, you can cut down your own carbon footprint in half by just leaving meat off your plate for 1 year. Plus, you can save a lot of water, redirect grain for people to eat, and help protect endangered species. So what do you guys think about this particular story? Is Obama making sense? Has he pointed out something obviously that has been pointed out before? However, it's not been brought to light, I don't think anyway, in recent years by a top figure such as Obama himself. What do you guys think? Please leave your comments below, hit the subscribe button, and follow us on all our social media channels. Thank you for watching News Breakdown.